They told you to be nice, to stay quiet, to smile. When you're uncomfortable, to say yes. When your soul screams no. They trained you like a dog, rewarding obedience, punishing defiance, programming your mind with praise for being agreeable. But silence is not virtue if it kills your truth. And being nice is not strength if it makes you invisible. They didn't teach you to be kind, they taught you to be submissive. They taught you to put others before yourself, not from love, but from fear of conflict, fear of rejection, fear of not being enough. And so you became the good one, the polite one, the one who never causes problems. And now they walk all over you because you've taught them how you think it's kindness, but really it's self-betrayal. You think you're avoiding confrontation, but really you're avoiding your own power. They told you not to raise your voice, not to speak too much, not to want too much, to keep the peace. But peace without authenticity is just a decorated prison. Your voice is a weapon, not a liability. Your boundaries are not cruelty, they are clarity. Every time you bite your tongue, you swallow pieces of yourself. Every time you choose comfort over honesty, you reinforce the lie that your needs don't matter. They said be the bigger person, but that just meant be the quieter one. Take the blame, take the guilt, take the pain, smile through it. Because that's what good people do. But tell me what's good about abandoning yourself. Tell me what's noble about shrinking. Tell me how being liked is more important than being real. They taught you to apologize for existing, to feel guilty for taking up space, to make yourself small so others can feel big. But you're not a doormat, you're not a mirror for their ego. You are a storm, you're a fire, you're a truth wrapped in flesh. You weren't born to fit, and you were born to awaken the room, not blend with it. Your job is not to be liked, it's to be whole. And you don't owe niceness to those who manipulate you, who drain you, who guilt trip you into submission. This is not about being cruel. It's about being honest, radical, unapologetic, soul-level honest. Stop being afraid to disappoint people. You were never responsible for their comfort. Stop breaking yourself to keep others intact. Stop silencing your truth to keep the illusion of harmony. You can be kind and fierce. You can be loving and assertive. You can say no with a heart full of compassion. You can walk away without hate and still with power. Being nice never saved anyone from betrayal. It never protected you from being taken for granted. It never made them respect you. It only made them expect you to keep giving until you had nothing left. The world told you nice is good. But look around, who's winning? The liars, the bold, the ruthless, the ones who speak even when their voice shakes, the ones who set boundaries. Even if it makes them the villain, you're not losing. Because you're not good enough, you're losing. Because you've been taught to play a game that punishes authenticity. You're losing because you think being soft means being silent. You're losing because you keep handing your power to people who never earned it. The real ones don't want you to be nice, they want you to be real, to be clear, to be wild. They want the full version of you, not the watered down, the edited, the filtered version you show the world to avoid judgment. Every time you choose being nice over being real, you betray the part of you that's screaming to be seen, to be felt to be heard. But not anymore, because now you know niceness is not the goal. Truth is now you know pleasing everyone is not success. Being at peace with yourself is now you know the world doesn't need another polite puppet. It needs another soul whose await that being liked was the same as being worthy, that fitting in was more important than standing firm. They conditioned you to believe that your value came for validation, that if everyone applauded, then you must be doing something right. So you adjusted your tone, softened your truth, made your dreams smaller. Just to stay in their good books, you smiled through disrespect, apologized for having standards, let people overstep, and thought maybe that's just how life works. Maybe this is maturity. Maybe growing up means shrinking yourself. But that was never maturity. That was manipulation dressed as manners. You weren't being noble. You were being trained into silence. They didn't teach you how to handle your power. They taught you how to suppress it, how to carry it like a burden instead of a blessing, how to make it digestible so others wouldn't choke on your greatness. You became the fixer, the pleaser, the one who always compromises. And they called you mature, but inside you were bleeding your joy, your authenticity, your wildness. You see, they never wanted you healed. They wanted you manageable. They never wanted your roar, only your whisper, your nod, your agreement, your compliance. Because your fire scared them, your no made them uncomfortable, your truth disrupted their illusion. So they called you difficult, arrogant, too intense. And you believed them, you tone it down, you dimmed the light. And the world grew colder because you weren't made to be dimmed, you were made to burn. Through the lies, to ignite change, to stand tall, even if you stand alone. And now you're starting to remember that being nice was the lie. The real you is honest, unfiltered, raw, the real you, doesn't break to be accepted, doesn't bend for approval, the real you is not afraid to walk away, not afraid to say no, not afraid to be the villain in someone else's story, because you finally realize that you were never the villain, they just couldn't control you. Anymore your silence served them, but now your voice serves you, your boundaries protect you, your truth liberates you. This is the rebirth, the moment when you stop seeking permission and start reclaiming your space, the moment when you become the person you needed when they told you to be nice, when they guilted you into silence, when they punished you for speaking up. This is the part where you rise unapologetically, where you disappoint the right people and feel nothing because you no longer betray yourself for temporary peace. You see peace that costs. Your soul is just quiet suffering, and you're done suffering, you're done playing small, done waiting for a seat at their table. You're building your own table now, and you won't apologize for it. You're not cold, you're clear, you're not rude, you're real. You're not aggressive, you're assertive, you're not mean. You're finally meeting yourself, you're no longer asking for their approval. Because now you understand their approval is a leash, and you're no one's pet. They don't have to understand your boundaries, they don't have to like your decisions, they don't get a vote on your worth. You're not running a campaign, you're reclaiming your crown. So stop asking how to be liked and start asking how to be free, how to be whole, how to be true to the fire that kept burning inside you even when they try to drown it with shame. You are not here to be digestible. Since the beginning, they told you that being agreeable would make life easier. They told you that if you stayed quiet, things would fall into place. They trained you to smile when you were angry, to nod when you disagreed, to stay when you wanted to walk away. And every time you betrayed yourself, they called you good. Every time you gave, and they called you strong. Every time you swallowed your truth, they applauded, and you mistook their praise for peace, but deep down you were crumbling. You knew it wasn't right to live in fragments, to shrink your voice, to carry everyone's burden but your own. And so you kept giving and giving, hoping someone would finally see you, someone would finally choose you. But that's the trap. The more you give, the less they respect you. Because people don't value what's handed to them for free, they value what they have to earn. And you gave yourself away for nothing. They didn't earn your loyalty, they didn't deserve your silence. They weren't worthy of the version of you who never said no. But you kept doing it because you thought love meant sacrifice. But now you see love without self-respect is slavery, connection without boundaries is chaos, support without reciprocity is self-destruction. And this version of you is tired of explaining, tired of being polite, tired of filtering every sentence to make sure no one feels uncomfortable. And so you stopped apologizing for taking space. You stopped over-explaining your choices. You stopped feeling guilty for choosing yourself, because choosing yourself is not selfish, it's sacred. And if they loved you, they'd understand. If they respected you, they wouldn't need an explanation. If they valued you, they'd never make you beg for your own dignity. This new version of you walks away when disrespected, says no without hesitation, honors their intuition more than other people's opinions, and doesn't flinch when labeled a bad guy. Because the truth is, they don't hate you, they hate your boundaries, they hate your growth, they hate that you're no longer easy to manipulate. And that's not your burden to carry. You're not a reflection of their inability to evolve. You are not responsible for their discomfort. You are not here to soften your edges so they can sleep better at night. You are the disruption, the shift, the change they feared. And now it's too late, because the version of you that begged is dead. The version that tolerated is gone. The version that played nice has been buried. And what rose in its place is a warrior, a mirror, a storm. And now, when you walk into the room, they feel it. They feel the silence that doesn't apologize, the eyes that don't seek approval, the presence that demands respect without uttering a word. You don't chase, you attract. You don't convince, you exist. You don't prove, you embody. And now they whisper behind your back because they can no longer control you. They fear what they can't define, and you were never meant to be defined. You were meant to be experienced, to be felt, to be remembered. And you will be not because you conformed, but because you chose truth over comfort, self over sacrifice, reality over illusion. You became the thing they warned others about, the one who woke up. And now there's no going back.